What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we will continue the work on the rear wheel driven Saab 9.5, and in the last video you saw that I upgraded the rear differential, the LSD differential, with the clutch pack from Racing Diffs. Unfortunately, one side of the differential got placed in the wrong way. And also when I drove out the car the first time, the differential popped out on one side. So I had to redo it, and it was all good, but it's important to get the clutch packs into the correct order. After that, I have done a little bit of wheel alignment, get a little bit more camber. It's still manual wheel alignment at home for me, and I have been starting to do some driving and some logging. So I have also adjusted the shifter. If we could just get a little bit of focus. So I have extended the shift knob with this piece right here. Much thanks to Jukka and Jukka who helped me, very short notice. But now it feels so good. And you can also see in the background that I have added a DB9 port. So this is directly connected to the ECU. So I will be able to connect the CAN USB that I have right here to a laptop, so I can do some logging and I can flash the ECU on the go. So that is very nice. So if you want to see how you install one of these ports so that you can connect a laptop and get some logging, then I will show that in a separate video. But when I have done the logging, right now Joel is helping me with the software as usual. I'm only working with the best. So right now we are at like revision 2 of the software, so not much have been adjusted. I started with the magnetic valve disconnected, so the car only pushes bass boost, which in this car is 0.7 bar, and it pulled perfectly fine up until the red line. Then Joel did a little bit of adjustments and I got to revision 2. Then I started to driving with the magnetic valve connected, and it boosted to like around 1.4, 1.6 bar of boost. It was a little bit uneven, and I didn't reach the air mass numbers that we wanted. So the car is aiming for like 1700 milligrams or something like that, and the first time I didn't even go above 1000 milligrams, but the car pulled like crazy. So then I found out that this little line going to the solenoid was off, so now it's zip tied in so it won't come loose. And when I reinstalled that, did some logging again, I reached 1400 milligrams, and that's better, but we still have some, I guess it's some kind of boost leak or something. And just because this is a turbo, if you didn't know, so the boost pressure starts here, it goes through the intercooler in the front, goes up through the pressure pipe and to the intake. And on a normal Saab 9.5 you will have the mass airflow sensor or the meter in front of the turbo. So everything that's leaking after the turbo will set like an error code. But right now I have the mass airflow sensor just before the intake, so it will measure the air correctly, but anything that's leaking in front of it will not be like monitored, or it will not set an error code. And this is also why you could run an open blow-off valve, etc. But that's another story. So what we will do today is we will jack up the car, take off the front bumper and we will pressurize the compressor housing on the turbo, because the compressor housing itself could be a potential leak. Because on the back side of the compressor housing you have an O-ring and like a plate, and this should be sealed off. And the pressure pipes that goes down here, which you will see in a minute, I have welded myself and they have not been pressure tested, so there is a big potential risk that they are leaking, having small leaks. So that is what we're going to do today. And what's important when you pressure test the system is that you don't pressurize the crankcase ventilation, which I have on my car right here, going to the intake pipe right here. So I will disconnect this and we will make a little bit of a flange to be able to test the pressure. So this will be in the most easiest fashion I could think of. So a 3-inch silicone hose. We would take a 3-inch piping. I will weld on a plate, drill a hole, take the handle for the compressed air, and I have put on a little bit of silicone hose on top of this. If we could just get the focus. And I will make a hole that's just slightly smaller so I can push this through, then blow some air into it. And we will take a bottle of like water and a little bit of dish soap to spray around the areas where I think it possibly could leak. And either we have to weld the pipes more, or we need to get a new O-ring or whatever. So this is definitely something you could do at home as well. You could just, even though if your engine is not the way mine is facing, you could still do it the exact same way. Just put a coupling on the compressor housing on the turbo, and then just spray down the system and see if it leaks anywhere. So let's get the car up in the air in the front and get the wheels off, the front bumper off. I will also disassemble the headlights to get easy access to all the piping. Now we have everything off. We get the turbo exposed, and now we need to follow the piping that goes underneath here. You see we have a weld behind there, and there's also a weld up here that you don't see right now. Follow it along across the intercooler and up this pipe, and here we have another weld, another weld, another weld. So there is quite some places where it could actually leak. So the welds of course holds the piping together, no doubt about it, and it's still pushing 1400 milligrams, so I don't know how big the leak might be and where it might be, but that is what we're going to find out right now. Here I have a bottle of soap and water mixed to see where it bubbles, and now I'm just quickly going to do the piping that we are going to need to pressurize the system. So the tip of the silicone hose is like 9 millimeters in outer diameter. So what I will do right now, I will drill a hole that's 8 millimeters, and then I will just squeeze this through so it gets sealed off. Of course you could install like a valve that you have for a tire or similar to make it a little bit more professional, but I will do this right now. So here we have everything installed. You can see the pressurizing gauge. It's not perfect, but it works. And this is not easy to do with one hand, and the compressor is just insane. But here I found some leaks. See if we could capture this. So if I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on here. You see where it bubbles, and you can definitely hear it. So there is a major leak somewhere. I'm sorry about the filming, but it's not easy. Yeah, on the underside right here, it's blowing straight out. This is not like a small leak, this is like major. You can hear it. It's blowing straight out, and still the car has ran quite okay. I am not driven it with a full power, so it felt a little bit sluggish, but that definitely needs to come off. And the other welds, they were quite okay, I would say. If we do a little bit more, I'll just move this. And they say that man cannot do two things at the same time. Watch this guy multitasking. So the welds right here are not terrible, but you could still see that there is some small bubbles coming, but this was major. This was like... So I will just remove this, remove the pipes. Actually, I don't think the first piping is the big issue here. The big issue is definitely that one over there. But I will take them down either way, and we will fix them up. Here we have the issue. You can see that the flatness of this connection is not good. So here we definitely have a leak from the between the threads and the actual connector right here. So of course the welds are not the most prettiest in the world, but they work. But this needs to be fixed. So I will try to flatten this as good as I can by hand, thread it in, then use like a soft washer and some thread locker inside to make this seal up really good. Of course I will go over the welds once again just to make sure that it's tight, but I think the big issue right here is this one, because it was blowing out, literally blowing out. When I put my finger against it, it was like if it doesn't come out correct from the video. But you can see the welds are not bad all the way around. If I can just get some focus. But yeah, we will go over this and I will try to flatten this down, because now I see where the issue is, so I can take this in and out a couple of times to get it like as flat as possible. So this is what it should look like. Really thick beads that just penetrates the material all the way around. So now we won't have any leaks around it. And I have grinded off this surface so it's more leveled right now. And I've added one of these washers to the pressure sensor. So this is, in Sweden we call it tredjetätning, but this is like a washer with an internal seal inside of it. So I will apply some thread sealant and tighten this down again, and we won't have any leaks around this sensor again. And the welds are perfect, so now I will continue with the rest of them. So everything back pressure wise, everything sealed off. So now I will apply a little bit of pressure. Tiny bubble maybe, but not at all like it was before. And you can hear it was some pressure in the system and it holds it fine. So now I will assemble everything back and take it out for a test drive. So I have ran the car up to temperature and I am starting the logging right now. So we are going to see what we could do. And my action cam is so bad at picking up the sound. So I will try now with my regular camera rigged up. Didn't feel like the right boost. It was definitely reduced. suspected, there was two lines from the magnetic valve that was switched up when I did the leakage test. So I had put the hose with the R sign went to the compressor, and the compressor one went to the intake pipe. So that is definitely not correct. So we will see if it makes a difference right now. Like full throttle yet. 100 degrees engine temp. That's pretty hot. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of a DIY video. As I said in the beginning, this is something that you could do on your car. If it's stuttering, if it's not getting the performance it should, it might be a boost leak somewhere. So it's a good thing to check that you don't have a boost leak. Now I had the lines mixed up, and I waited till the car adapted, and now when I got home I thought to myself, maybe I should have switched around the lines and then readapt the car again so it gets the correct reading from the ECU. Might be the issue, because before, when I had the massive boost leak, it wasn't stuttering as bad as it was right now. So there's still something that we need to figure out, but this is the life with cars. You fix one thing, you get on to the next. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, it helps a lot. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!